Salutations! Hello and welcome YouTube to Let's Play Cthulhu Confidential. In this episode, joined by
Magician.
And so in this episode, we're picking up where we left off, although it's for us a week later, where we're in this rather interesting guest house in Bel Air, and we've got a couple leads.
Well, I mean, the guest house is as mundane as they come.
The people at the guest house are not. So we are in the act of resolving the shadowy driver.
That's right.
We have dinner planned for Ted. Well, we have dinner planned for Ted and drinks planned for Len.
Yep.
We have a highly suspicious Church of the Argent Light. By definition, highly suspicious.
Yes. It is a religious organization in a
Cthulhu
Lovecraftian game. Yeah.
And we have the Casino Allegro, which...
Technically Allegra, single L-A at the end, but it really doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's fine.
It's fine. If I had
it is cursor, Allegro now.
It's Allegro now, by fiat. So, let's get started.
Yes, so when last we met, Dex has just soaked the shadowy driver, the person who was following him, to the ground after the said person had tried to shank Dex for humiliating him, threatening him, and then going through his things. So he kind of had a...
No, he didn't.
Okay, yeah, fine. And now he's lying on the floor whimpering?
Yes. And he's just handed me his blackmail material.
Oh, is that what you're after? Look, fine, I'll give it to you. Just leave me alone. He scrambles on his hands and knees to a unremarkable wall and pulls a key from between two bricks. Here, this is from the Security First National Bank. That's all I have.
Do I need to note that down? No,
nah,
all right.
No, it's fine.
Security First National Bank. So, here's how this is going to go down. I'm going to take this key, and I'm going to hand it to your hostess.
Okay.
You're going to leave Los Angeles, and we will say no more of this.
Come on, man. Where am I going to do? What do you want me to do?
Go back to Russia.
What? No, what Russia? No, I'm not red.
Dex turns around and walks out.
Okay, so you added insult to injury there.
Yep.
Are you actually trusting him to do what you... to give the key to the hostess?
No, I have the key.
Okay, yeah.
I told him what I was going to do.
Right.
And gave him a little bit of notice to run.
Okay.
Now, here's the problem. I'm curious.
Yep.
I was anticipating over this last week that you'd hand me a folder that I could page through on the walk over.
Fortunately, well, he's just a bit better than that, in that he just doesn't keep stuff where the hostess could easily find it.
Right. Well...
So I guess that is the question. Do you just return the key? Or do you go and retrieve the photos yourself? In case there's something else interesting there.
Oh, this is so hard. Because I know what I should do. And I know what I'm going to do. No, of course, I want to go retrieve the photos.
Excellent.
Ooh, shaggy. Well, no, I'm curious. This is intentionally me playing who killed the cat.
Well, okay.
Killed the cat.
If you really want to trust it to the dice, you could make it a cool test.
No, I will play to my...
You make a choice.
The point is to play to my weaknesses, not...
Yep. Okay. Well, sure. You will be greeted by a polite man at the bank who will lead you to the deposit box. And you will find, indeed, a fairly thick envelope inside.
Okay. Is there anything else or just the envelope?
Just the envelope.
Okay, well, I empty out the box and exit the bank.
Yeah.
Sitting down in the privacy of my rather dilapidated Model T. And so I looked this up because I was a little bit worried about dates. Apparently, the Model Ts went off the market in 1927. So I'm driving... So it is appropriate for this car.
Right. This is vintage car.
Yes. It works. That's all that matters. I paged through the photos.
Yep. Okay, so you do find... actually, you haven't seen the face of the hostess. In which case, there are compromising photos of a young woman in company of another woman.
If I don't recognize them, that's fine.
Yeah. You flipping through it without really looking at any intimate details, and they are very revealing photos. You quickly come to a stop as you recognize the characters involved. As this is...
Curiosity, it pays off.
It does. Because you do find similarly intimate photos of Helen and Marshall.
I need wait. There we are. So... Sure. So this is evidence. Incriminating photo of Helen.
Helen and Marshall. Helen is the person you're trying to save.
Yes. In what surroundings? In context of the other photos.
Oh no, entirely different. But I mean, they're all inside a room through a window, kind of thing. It's not the same place, but that's about all you can say.
Okay, so in flagrante inside a room. So this is more blackmail rather than useful clue.
Yes, there are, going further, photos again of Marshall meeting with some other men. This is all these photos
now put a
are
plural.
voyeuristic through windows and from behind something.
Now, mind you, considering the photo technology of the time, that's saying something, because cameras are huge, but we will assume that he has them. So, and then we have other photos of Marshall.
Yeah, it looks very much like this person you've taken the photos from, whose name I don't think you ever got.
Nah. He's the shadowy driver.
Yes.
In the Fallen London style.
Yes. He was clearly following Marshall.
Right. So
Helen is there because, salacious photos.
Yep.
But she's... And then there is a photo of Helen with some other person you haven't seen before. Some mousy-looking man. And they live in a hotel together.
Excellent. I will very carefully remove those photos. All the remaining photos have to deal with the singular unknown woman?
Yep.
Excellent. Those go back in the envelope. The rest go into my glove box, which gets locked.
Yep.
I don't think I've got glove boxes in Model T. Into a secure locked compartment in somewhere. Drive back to the house.
Okay.
I try to make the photos not look quite so obviously thumbed through.
Okay.
Like I tighten the stack and
yeah, sure.
Put them back in the envelope. Park at the front of the house.
Okay. So I assume you knock on the door.
Yep.
The same woman you saw in those photos opens the door. She looks at you suspiciously.
Hello, ma'am. I'm terribly sorry to bother you. It's not going to be a problem. I just wanted... Your guest was being annoying, and as such, has forfeited these.
The suspicions very slowly changes to surprise, then to delight, as she takes the envelope and just takes a peek inside.
Here's my card.
Am I to think? Are you to he just ran away.
Yes.
He left the door open and he got into his car and just drove off.
Hopefully you won't be bothered anymore.
Wait here. She
Dex looks really confused. Yep.
rushes in. You hear her rummaging through her bag, and she comes out with several notes and just presses them into your hand.
Why, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, if you have any troubles in the future, I'm a detective. I solve problems.
She looks at your card again and nods.
Dex tips his hat jauntily. His good deed done for the month.
Yep.
And goes back to the car.
Okay.
He's not going to be so rude as to look at the notes when she's there.
Looking at them in the car.
Yes.
That is actually
That is the limit of his patience.
Yes, sizable amount of money, over $100 in Paris change. That, if you were to take some time and go deal with your various debts, that will cover your broke problem.
All right. So this is name envelope cash, not notes, but money. Much better. Okay. Dex feels kind of conflicted about this.
But does he feel conflicted enough not to take the money?
That's why I said kind of. Dex would feel a lot more conflicted if he didn't have those debts. And that if he looked at the notes, or if he looked at the bank notes, not the textual notes that he had assumed. But he didn't do this with that intention. If she chose to give him money, he's clear in his own mind that this wasn't extortion.
Okay.
So he's fairly happy with how this turned out. And hey, she's kind of pretty.
Jeez. I mean, clearly Dex has no chance there, but...
No. But it's fun. It's fun. So, what time of day is it?
It is late afternoon, I'd say, because you've been driving around for a while.
So, I don't really feel like starting the proper investigation of the church. How close am I to the County Hall of Records? I want to see what filings the church has done.
Sure.
Because
say you
always,
can make it in time.
It's always worth doing paperwork first. You never know what you'll find out.
Sure.
So, County Hall of Records. If it's anything like modern day Los Angeles, it'll be at the big building in West Los Angeles. But it could be... you know what? 70 years is a lot of time. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. I don't know. Anyway, yes, you get there, you know where to go, and you look through public records.
Yep.
Okay, so you're doing essentially research.
Yeah, so let's see if there's an actual thing.
There is. There's the research.
Research.
Yep.
Yes, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Doing the research.
On Church of Argent Light.
I mean, I assume that the casino is not particularly well registered, but I'll be doing research on both because it's the county hall.
So casino is not at all registered. Yeah. You know it's an illegal casino.
Yeah. That's fine.
Held by the system.
On the other hand, the church should be registered.
The church is registered. So the owner / leader / whatever is Clara Nebel.
Just a second. So, county notes, owner.
Clara Nebel.
Clara?
Yep. Nebel.
Okay.
The church is relatively new, maybe 5 years old. It's one of those many small churches that have popped up relatively recently. They have a single building, you know where it is. There's no set congregation, there's no set nothing.
Okay. Are the building plans on file?
Sure, let's say there.
I take notes.
Okay.
Mainly, where are the doors? So my first question is, where are the doors? My second question is, where are the offices? And my third question is there anything funny?
No, it's a refitted bungalow.
Okay, so it is...
There's a hall which is what the church is in quotes, and the back rooms are probably living and offices and whatnot.
All right. Easily done. What other things are there? How much time do I have after that records dig? I wouldn't mind taking a quick look at the Deacon records, but...
You probably don't have time
Right,
to
then-
look up, because
it
finding things
takes
took a
time.
while.
In that case, I will tip the clerk.
Yeah,
It's always wise to tip the clerk.
sure.
And then I go to the bar.
Okay. As you are driving down the street, you see that you are being followed again. But it's not the shadowy driver.
Yeah.
No, you even recognize the car and the person who is actually waving for you to pull over
Oh, okay.
as a repo agent.
Dex heaves a sigh, turns into an alley.
Okay,
Best to have this out of public eye.
right. I mean, you could try to just evade him.
No, I've got an envelope full of money.
Right. Okay.
Like,
I mean, the repo agent probably, well, he'll take the bribe happily, but he's probably not there after the money. He has a job to take your car.
well, I can give him a choice of a fist or an equivalent, but we will have it.
Okay.
Cool. We will have it out of the public eye.
Okay. Well, he will stop behind you and go out of the car with a bit of a swagger.
Dex is a fairly imposing figure and is already out of his car.
Yep. Mr. Raymond, so lucky that I ran into you.
Sorry, Dex nod. I just realized that we're recording Dex nods. But
Yeah. I see here he makes a very performative gesture of looking at his notes that you have a few payments overdue.
happily, a job just paid me, and I'll take care of it Monday.
Oh, fantastic. Then you'll be able to get your car from the lot. Once you pay off the storage fee, of course.
Unfortunately, I'm also in the middle of a case, and it'd be very inconvenient for that to happen. I don't suppose we could just settle this now?
He ponders ever so briefly. Why, Mr. Raymond? Are you offering me a bribe?
No, I'm offering you an absence of fist.
Oh, he's very disappointed. He was going to take the bribe.
If I had money for the bribe, I wouldn't have money for the repo payments. What I'm offering to do is save you some time moving my car around. I have money to pay it off, and I'll pay it off tomorrow.
Oh,
And this means that you don't need to worry about it.
So, would you like to spend a
Yes.
push on intimidation?
Yes, I would.
Excellent. In which case, he looks at you, looks at the car,
Yeah.
looks at you again. Yes. Just have it by Monday.
What day is it?
I have no idea.
It is not Monday.
It is
Check.
not Monday. Let's say it's Friday.
Yeah. Thursday. Because otherwise it'll be closed and awkward.
Right. Okay. Anyway, yep. You scare him off.
Yep.
And he will hurry off and get into his car and drive away. Good job, you.
Dex cracks his knuckles.
Yep. Okay.
Quickly goes back to the car and makes sure that the envelope is still there.
You've been out of the car for a minute. Yes, it's still there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now to the pub, where Dex dearly needs a drink.
Yes. First, you're having a dinner with Ted, though.
The other pub.
The other pub. I mean, they probably serve alcohol too.
Dinner with Ted.
Okay, so remind me, what was he looking up for you? He was looking up any details on Helen and her father, right?
Helen, father, and Marshall.
Okay.
Basically, all of the names in the case that I've currently found.
Sure. Well, he will... Yeah, after a couple minutes of vigorous chewing,
Yep.
he'll look up at you and say, well, thanks, old buddy. You, as usual, bit off more than you can chew.
Yep.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Dex, of course, has a giant mouthful.
And by that I mean there's basically nothing on Helen or her family, which makes sense. They're not the kind of people to have records about. And yeah, Marshall, well, there have been reports of him maybe being in the communist cell.
Okay.
But low priority for now.
All right. And does the name Clara Nabel mean anything to you?
No, can't say that it
Church
does.
of the Argent Light?
Oh, I think Mrs. wanted to go there at some point, but... Oh yeah, that's right. She said they were just looking for money. And not the kind of money we could afford either.
Alright. Anything on the Allegro Casino?
Well, I mean, I know where it is.
Any, have they been making waves?
Well, I mean, it's run by White Alexander, it's run by the system. There's a bit of rumors that someone's putting a squeeze on them, but hasn't gone violent yet, so we don't really know.
All right. So we've got gambling chips. We've got that. Argent Light. He doesn't need to care about the driver. We have the general briefing about Bugsy and McAfee.
With an S, not a Z.
Whatever.
Paxi Spiegel is an actual person. Doesn't matter.
There.
Excellent.
Ah!
What did he do?
Okay, and then we have incriminating photos, which we're not going to share. The moonshine isn't really something that one can follow up as an incidental.
Well, as I mentioned when you found it, you could ask him to try and get prints.
I could try to get him to do prints, but this is more of a bring it up in conversation. It's like, what do I do with a bottle of low-grade moonshine? Drink it. I'm just going over my notes to make sure. All right. So there is a theme. In terms of this, Marshall is maybe in a commie cell, but that's all that we know about Marshall.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not involved in anything else shady, far as Ted knows.
Well, that's actually useful. All right. What happens if I push this button? The viewport is fine.
Are you playing with the interface again?
Yes.
Okay.
I keep clicking off of it, so maybe that would help. All right, so we enjoy dinner.
Okay.
It's I don't think that I've got. We do shop talk. I'm going to use this to spend some time doing cop talk to make sure that my cop talk ability is still there. General, what sort of cases you involved in, that sort of curiosity. I assume nothing of consequence comes up.
Nope.
So we maintain friendships.
Okay.
All
That takes maybe an hour, all things considered. Then Ted will thank you for the dinner and comment how it must be nice to be able to wine and dine people on the client's dime.
Better than mine.
Yep. But he's not complaining,
Yep. I take the receipt.
of course. So he will leave, and you will hurry off to your second rendezvous for the evening with, what's his face?
Sergeant Len Pollard.
Len Pollard.
We're going to Trader Vic's.
Okay. It looks like he started without you.
Yes, of course. He isn't getting those comped.
He'll try anyway.
He'll try anyway.
Taxi!
Len!
You again go through maybe 10 minutes of polite talk about, again, doctors telling him to lose weight. 'Cause that's all he talks about. He has one concern in life, and that's doctors bothering him.
Yep.
Okay, but eventually he will get to the point. So him you asked to look in just general interesting things happening in the area.
So a lot more, a wider net than Ted, but a lot seedier net than Ted.
Yep.
So I want to make sure that I'm not treading in any extremely high-profile dog poop here.
Well, he says, so there's one thing that kind of stood out a tiny bit. And I mean, it's not particularly special, but it's something. What's happening?
No, the viewport indeed was... It's all good. It's all good.
Okay. So there's a missing person report for an ex-cop. And the only reason I even mention it is because that ex-cop, I've heard on the down low that he's been taking money from Guy McAfee.
Taking money from McAfee. So paying for... So Dex doesn't say this because the joke doesn't make sense, but paying for virus vaccinations. Sorry. So cop taking money from McAfee disappeared.
Yep. Which, I mean,
I imagine
is part and
too.
parcel of the thing, but yeah, it's the one thing that stood out.
Okay. Have you... So Dex will basically ask him the same questions as the others. Actually, let's start with the ex-cop. Has anyone investigated this cop's disappearance?
Sure, they have. His home is empty and no sign of struggle.
Okay. So I will go over the list of names. So we start with heard anything about Marshall?
Who?
Marshall Daly, screenwriter.
Can't say that I have.
All right. There's a little bit of word that he's in a communist cell, but no one seems to really care. Yeah.
Neither do I.
Yeah. Has Roscoe Deacon gotten any trouble that we really care about? Maybe with the Allegro?
Oh, I'm sure if he has, they'd have dealt with it.
Yep. Have you heard anything about Clara Nabel? Church of the Argent Light?
No idea.
Okay.
Sounds like a bunch of cooks.
That's what I'm thinking. So, hold on. For this cop taking money from McAfee, do we think that Bugsy was involved?
Well, I mean, that's the rumor on the street, right? That Bugsy's moving in.
Okay. Then I will continue to do cop talk.
Yep. Okay, so Len is quite happy to chat with you for as long as you're there, and quite happy to drink for as long as you're there.
About an hour, like 1 or 2 drinks, not...
Yep. And he will keep drinking after you leave.
Yep. But I will pay for the drinks during our conversation.
Okay.
ones that provide value. So it's about, what, 8 p.m.?
Probably even longer.
About
even
9
later,
p.m.
sorry.
We're thinking. I've had a number of drinks. Don't really want to go. Okay, what am I curious about right now? There's the casino, but I don't really want to approach the casino right now. There's the guys in the incriminating photo, but I'm pretty sure that those are just commie stooges.
That would make some sense, yes.
There's the mousy-looking man TM, but no one's going to be able to respond to that.
No.
Except for Helen. Helen's non-responsive. Trying to give Helen an indecent photo of herself strikes me as contraindicated. No, I'm going to call it a night.
Okay. Yeah, you have 2 big clues to follow up on tomorrow.
And I've laid the groundwork.
Indeed. Okay. Let's see. We've pretty much... Again, nothing horrible happens to you in the night.
Shocking.
Because the person who might have tried to kill you, you've successfully scared off. You have. So, next morning.
All right. The very first thing I do is make coffee. Of course. Then I go pay off the major repo debt.
Okay. Which leaves you very, very light again.
But
you get rid of
Can I remove these?
Yes, you remove that,
Yay.
and you get rid of the broke problem as well.
I put what?
Maybe you don't have the rights for that, because why would you?
Why would I? Okay, so maybe I can just put this back in the bag?
Don't do that. Let me just... There we go.
Okay. And broke goes away?
And broke goes away.
Yay!
So...
Okay.
You would know that the casino doesn't open until...
So this episode's about the church.
Okay.
So let's go visit the church.
Let us go visit the church.
30 minutes in.
So this is the housekeeping episode, is what you're saying.
It really is. Actually, you know what? Let's do church next time.
Yep.
So I say, unto thee, Walates Dollars, and have a better day than Dex has had. Goodbye.